What's up, folks? It's your buddy Fatalroadie. Tonight we're going to be doing a Raw recap. We start off with Baron Corbin walking out to the ring. He talks up Survivor Series and says that Raw's victories were all due to Stephanie McMahon, and then introduces her. She comes out, says that it's all due to Baron Corbin. She starts to talk up Raw, and then Baron Corbin starts to talk about him being permanently placed as general manager. Then Braun Strowman comes out and he says that he wants his match with Baron Corbin. Stephanie McMahon then says that at TLC, he'll have his match, and if Baron Corbin wins, he will get his permanent position as general manager, but if he loses, he'll lose everything. She also says that in order for Braun Strowman to get his championship match with Brock Lesnar, he has to beat Baron Corbin, and if he does, his match will be at the Royal Rumble. Shortly after, Stephanie McMahon makes a 6-man tag team elimination match, which is next. Braun Strowman, Elias, and Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, and Drew McIntyre. Like I said, this is an elimination match, pretty much involving everybody that was at Survivor Series. This is an match. McIntyre eliminated Balor. Elias ended up eating a spear outside from Bobby Lashley, which got himself counted out. Braun Strowman hits a power slam on Baron Corbin, tries for a pin, but Drew McIntyre hits Braun Strowman with a chair, getting himself disqualified, and then all hell breaks loose. This all culminates in Baron Corbin hitting Braun Strowman's arm with the steel steps. It's later said that Braun Strowman shattered his elbow. Like I said, this was a match. I don't know. I don't understand it. We just saw these people on Survivor Series. Now we're going to make you all fight each other. Okay. This match was entirely too long. Chances are we'll see a combination of these 6 people another 692 times before TLC. Then we have Seth Rollins coming out. He talks up the NXT TakeOver and Survivor Series pay-per-views, and then talks about Dean Ambrose and their upcoming match at TLC. After getting fired up, he calls out Dean Ambrose, and of course he doesn't show up. He pops up on the Titantron and tells Seth Rollins to come find him. After saying that Roman Reigns is going to have to answer to the man upstairs for what he did wrong, Seth Rollins tears up the ramp and runs backstage to find him. We then have Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Tamina and Nia Jax. This is another match. I'll give them credit. At least it's something new. Nia Jax is playing up the whole face breaker or face crusher thing in regards to Becky Lynch. I honestly really couldn't get into it. Nia Jax and Tamina won it. Okay, next. We then go backstage and Seth Rollins is continuing to hunt down Dean Ambrose. In another backstage segment, the WWE is still continuing the joke about Drake Maverick pissing himself, and we find out later we'll have a match between Chad Gable and Bobby Roode and the AOP. We then had the Lucha House Party versus the Revival. Again. Bruh. It almost looks like they're trying to make the Lucha House Party into Raw's The New Day. But anyways, Lince Dorado got the pin on Scott Dawson. Like I said the last time, this is a complete and total joke. We then have a recap of the match with Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair. Then Ronda Rousey comes out. She talks about her upcoming match with Nia Jax and says that she'll make her tap out. She then goes on to say after that match that she has some unfinished business with Charlotte Flair and that will be taken care of. She then makes an open challenge, which is answered by Baron Corbin, who says that her request has been denied. Baron Corbin is highly hesitant on getting into the ring. Ronda Rousey tells him to go back and find somebody, or he'll have to be her opponent. Corbin says he'll go out and find someone, and goes backstage. We come back from the commercial to find out that Ronda Rousey's opponent will be Mickie James. This is an alright match. There really wasn't much to it. It was short. Mickie James did put up a little bit of offense, but Ronda Rousey hit 3 Piper's Pits, then locked in the armbar for the win. As she's walking up the ramp, she's met by Tamina and Nia Jax. Nia Jax is still playing up the whole face breaker, puncher, whatever gimmick she's running, and then walks away.
Hello?
We then have the AOP versus Chad Gable and Bobby Roode. Thank God it wasn't against the Ascension. Halfway through the match, the crowd is chanting AOPP. I honestly thought this was going to be a squash match, but Chad Gable was able to get the sunset flip on Akam to get the pin. It certainly looked like Drake Maverick was pissed. We then have a backstage segment where Seth Rollins is leaving the arena, saying he can't find Dean Ambrose. We then have our main event, Natalya versus Ruby Riott, with the Riott Squad in tow. It was a typical Riott Squad match. Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan kept interfering. Ruby Riott tried for a roll-up, but Natalya reversed it and ended up catching the pin, so she wins. Okay, can we move on? And in our final segment, we have Dean Ambrose finally coming out. He continues to run down the crowd. And then up on the Titantron, we see Seth Rollins running through the arena, heading out to the ring. Rollins comes out, he fights with Dean Ambrose. He tries to go for the stomp, but Dean hits him with a low blow, gives Seth Rollins the dirty deeds, goes to leave the ring, turns around, runs back in, and hits him again. And that's it. We pretty much end tonight's Raw. As a fallout from Survivor Series, the first segment and the first match went entirely too fucking long. And the rest of the matches weren't all that great. If I were to say any of the matches were really good, it would either be the Ronda Rousey, Mickie James match or the Gable and Rude and AOP match. Everything else was kind of which is usually on par with most of what Raw does. Once again, as I've always said, hopefully SmackDown will be better. But that'll do it for this episode of Raw Recap. Leave a comment down below what you thought of tonight's Raw, what you thought of this video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to share and subscribe. I've been Fatalroadie. You've been awesome. Thank you very much for watching. And remember, if it's too loud, you're too old. See ya.